You see, it all fundamentally comes down to two choices. It does not matter which decision you make. It just really depends on what sort of outcome you're looking for. You see, so many times what ends up happening is that we're given this response that we don't like because in our mind we had a different set of outcomes planned. We had a different mental representation of exactly what the future would look like. And it took that much guts, it took that much time, it took that much energy to get to the point where you're willing to take the risk. And you took the risk and you jumped, but you know what? You failed. Now you feel judged. You feel like you have this judgment of yourself. It is the definition of your character and how well you're capable. It's a definition of your capabilities and your leadership. It's a definition of your abilities and do you have what it takes to actually be great. You see, all these things begin to ponder in your head, and that's okay because, believe it or not, what ends up actually happening is that we have this thing called the conscious mind and the unconscious mind, and our unconscious mind begins to kick in as a response to all of the emotions that we feel. And all that means is that the emotions meant that it was worth going after. It meant that you cared, it meant that you did the work. And so it is not that, but however, what we also forget is the fundamental equation. And the fundamental equation is that event plus response will always equal the outcome. And you might say, well, I don't understand. That seems like a fallacy. Here's the work and the energy that I set in stone, and I went out there to try to manifest this validity of this dream that I had, and I'm not seeing it happen, and I fell flat on my face. So you know what? That shit hurt. So don't tell me event plus response equals the outcome. You see, an outcome, I think, is when you look at a circumstance in its entirety based on the decision that you've made, and you said, have I manifested that? Have I thought about a vision in my head, done the work, actually put the plan in motion and manifested that and made that vision become a reality? Because if so, you're not done. And if you are in a position where you're gonna go at a bat and swing for the third or fourth or even 10th time, you yet have not hit that grand slam, you haven't knocked that ball out of that park, then I'm here to tell you, you're not done, and the outcomes are nothing but stepping stones and learning experiences. And those learning experiences are what actually innovate and change your system. It's what actually allows for your vision to be reeled in closer, because every time you end up moving, you find out that there's some insurmountable obstacle. It's the impenetrable force. It's the wall that you cannot surmount. And what ends up happening is that we become discouraged, but every feat and every fall brings with it a lesson, and that lesson, with our humility, allows for us to be able to make the changes, allows for us to be able to find out exactly where the shortcomings were, and then we can take that information, we can begin to process it, and it doesn't become so much a catharsis in that moment. What begins to happen is you begin to zero in on that austerity, and you begin to get better at your focal points, and those focal points allow for you to find the hacks, exactly what you'll need to do, step by step, day by day, hour by hour, to keep your mindset sharp and to keep your psychology completely focused to the point where you're not even influenced by what's happening. You still feel the emotions, but you have such a resilience, you have such a perseverance about your attitude and your character that those don't even sway you anymore, because you've already made the decision that one of two things is going to happen. You're going to manifest the outcome and you're going to get it this time, which will be your win, or you're going to learn and you're going to grow, and there are no losses. And the reality is that is available to you. It has nothing to do with the outcome, but your interpretation of what that actually means. So what is your interpretation of this outcome? Well, it is predicated on two decisions. Your event plus response will equal your outcome. You see, the event might be something that you go after, and the response might be something that you've taken upon yourself to take into action and you don't like it. Or the response might be your ability to wake up and swing again. And that's what ultimately will define your outcome.